Hi there, I'm Gildart Jackson, and today on Fireside Reading we read Chapter 28, Part 2. There are three parts, the way we're reading David Copperfield's Chapter 28. And we continued with the dinner party that David is throwing for Mr. and Mrs. Micawber and Traddles, and finally Littimer leaves, Steerforth's butler, and they can get back to having a rollicking evening, and it's very funny because Mrs. Micawber, a little drunkenly I think, takes, which is a little bad because she's pregnant, it seems. Sweetie Pie? Rory? Hello there, I'm Gildart Jackson, and today on Fireside Reading we read Part 2 of 3 parts of Chapter 28 of David Copperfield. And in this part of the chapter, the rollicking dinner party that David is throwing for Mr. and Mrs. Micawber and Traddles continues. Steerforth's butler, Littimer, leaves, fortunately, leaving them to enjoy their party together, and they are drinking the punch that Mr. Micawber has made. Mrs. Micawber, who's pregnant, is drinking a little too much punch, which is terrible, and she, it seems, starts chivying Mr. Micawber about his work prospects. Finally, it seems that they have this extravagant plan for him to borrow money to be able to advertise as to himself in all the newspapers, but they're going to borrow the money, and it looks like they're going to try to borrow the money off of Traddles' good name. I'm afraid that's what seems to be happening at the end. We don't yet know exactly what's happening. But when everyone's leaving, David says to Traddles, don't lend him any money, and he says, I haven't got any to lend, but you have a good name, says David. And Traddles said, well, I've already lent him that on his previous attempts to borrow money. So I'm afraid it looks like Traddles is going to get into trouble. We shall find out. Please join us every day at 5 Pacific, live on Instagram at Fireside Reading, and all the chapters uploaded to the YouTube channel Fireside Reading.